I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.
What's up, my friends? I'd like to tell a little story here. I guess it's more of a thought than a story, but I was thinking earlier about pyramid schemes and people who take advantage of the weak, people who take advantage of the poor, people who take advantage of those who are in a place in their life where they're suffering. As I mentioned in a video earlier, I was talking about in Scientology how they will pressure people to borrow money from anybody they can in their family to buy these books that they have to have. And this is partially why I compared Scientology to a pyramid scheme. The people at the top reap all the money, the people at the bottom are just selling products, but really it's the labor that's the product. But when it comes to a true pyramid scheme, like a business, multi-level marketing is what they like to call it, I just feel I have to speak up a little bit. And I actually just watched a video earlier by, I'll try to post the link. It's a guy, the channel is called Coffee Break, and I'd like to recommend it to people. He has some great things to say. Younger guy, but he's, I don't know, maybe 25, 30, I don't know. It doesn't matter the age, but I'm just trying to, I was trying to think of some of the types of, he basically, he loves to expose, corruption and BS. And one of the videos he did, he was talking about multi-level marketing, and how basically about 97% of people who join these schemes end up losing money in it. And the reason I bring it up is because I know somebody who has. Somebody in my family who has been selling products for a long time. Actually, I've known a couple, two or three different people who have sold a variety of different products from companies. And they always promise you it's just a year away. You're going to be successful before you know it. And I've heard a couple of different people talk about how they're going to get their car soon and they're going to get, all these bonuses. And just when people start to lose faith, these companies hold these giant meetings where everybody comes into these coliseum or auditorium and they have fireworks. And I mean, if you just Google multi-level marketing, conference, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just absurd. They want to get you excited. They want to bring you into the fold, make you feel like you're part of something big. And just like religions or other organizations use that family kind of bullshit line on you, these companies do too. Say, hey, don't you want to work for yourself? Hey, don't you want to be independent? You want to be able to take care of your kids, don't you? Don't you want to fix your marriage problems and everything else? And the people who are trained to work in these companies, they are some of the lowest of the low around. That basically, here's how I see it. As human beings, we all aspire to hold certain values, whatever those values may be. Because we all hold different values, what we consider to be a bad trait or an undesirable trait in humans is very subjective. For me personally, people who willingly take advantage of other people and call that business, when it's just predatory and lying, dishonest business practices and unethical and making excuses for it, to me that's it's one of the worst things you can do. It's stealing to me. It's like stealing. And I have very mixed feelings on stealing itself. Like, the whole Robin Hood complex. Should people steal from the rich to give to the poor? Even then I have my reservations. I'm like, a person against person anything is not the proper way to deal with it. But all through history there have been charlatans and liars and thieves. Illusionists and magicians in the past they were called. Today they're illusionists because we've been able to show that no, you can't really levitate. Most of these tricks were sleight of hand and they're still amazing. The one thing you can learn about humans is that even with the illusionists out there that we know are just creating illusions where it's not even real, we still go, wow, because that's magic to us. And I say look back through history to all of the magicians of the past and all of the charlatans and liars and the snake oil salesmen, which quite literally started with the idea of selling actual snake oil to cure anything. And you picture the guy with his, cowboy hat on a wagon, with two horses riding into town opens up the side and there's this apothecary and he's got all these bottles of different oils and liquids, and oh, this is bat wings, bat wing salve that'll cure any type of impotence, or people would say anything. And along that lines, I guess I should bring up folk medicine, because a lot of these companies that claim to be on the cutting edge of health, that are selling these products, they claim that these herbs are far superior.
Good reputation. We know you're reliable.
I'm glad you think so.
Here's the note, and this is where you sign. You'd better read it over carefully first.
Let's see.
Well, it looks like my camera somehow ran out of space, so I had to continue this video now. I'll just kind of splice these two together. That's what people do, right? I've always made my videos with one take, so whenever I have to splice them, it just becomes a pain in the ass. So, as I was saying, many companies, they tout their products as these, wonderful cures for whatever it might be. Well, the funny thing I've noticed about many of these natural healthcare, like multi-level marketing companies, is that they start out with one good product, and then the next thing you know, or maybe not a good product, then they start expanding into many different realms. Pretty soon they're selling everything you can imagine. I guess the one example I would give would be Melaleuca. Now, Melaleuca originally sold Melaleuca oil and a few other products. Now, Melaleuca alternifolia, also known as tea tree oil, I've been using that stuff for the last 20 years, and it's phenomenal. It works great for cuts and scrapes. It's a great disinfectant. Tastes horrible, but it does help with the toothache if you put a drop in there. Anyhow, there's a lot of uses for various oils, and so, you find a good product and you sell it. They charge way more than the oil is worth, for one, but it's a high quality product. Well, they started selling vitamins, then they started selling lotions and shampoos, and not just selling, rationally priced, but $12 bottles of shampoo that are, not that great. And of course, you as the salesperson get it for a cheaper price, right? So you think you're getting this deal because it's like 60% or whatever of the sale price, and you make your profit. Well, you're already paying three to four times probably what it's worth in the first place. And people just keep buying these products, and they end up with garages full of these multi-level marketing products. Pyramid scheme allows them to just keep buying in hopes that they will sell, and in hopes that they can sell their products. And you're required, because you've signed contracts, and you're forced to buy a certain amount of products per month, and you have to get a certain amount of people signed up under you. I'm not saying it's not for everyone, and maybe somebody out there has made it work for them, but like I said, 97% of the people will lose money on it, according to the research that I've done. This means that if you do make it, it's going to be at the cost of other people. So in my eyes, if you join a pyramid scheme hoping to make it to the top, and you're well aware of the fact that that's going to harm those at the bottom, there's no excuse for that. It's bad business all around. They try to get people when they're young, and they try to get them when they're desperate. So many of these other companies, the way that they sell things is they just do it through services. Like, you look for a job in a paper, and they say, oh, we're looking to fill these technicians, or vacuum sales. You get there, and it's this whole class you have to take about where how you're gonna go door to door and convince people they need shit that they don't need. And I think that's one of the main problems we have with our society right now, is the fact that too many people are convinced to buy shit that they don't need, and it puts a tax on everything. I mean, it's a human condition. You're not going to overcome it. There's no utopia where we can all just live in huts and go back to the earth, because we're too curious as creatures. So all we can do is try to save ourselves from getting sucked in. Just remember this. A lot of these times, these people will tell you they're trying to help you, or that, hey, you can do this and you can improve your life. A lot of these people are very pushy, and they will continue pushing at you and trying to get you into their club. And just ask yourself, what incentive do they have to do this if they're really trying to help you out? It's profit. Profit is what drives people to push and push and push. So as long as you're not seeking anything beyond the means of what you've earned, then, well, I guess we can't even do that these days, because people aren't receiving what they have earned. People are working hard in today's world, and they feel like they deserve to get ahead. And many of these companies will tell you everybody can be rich, and it's just not the way it is. It's not the reality. I mean, anybody could be rich, but not through their company. Somebody's always going to fail for somebody to win. And so those are my thoughts on it. Thanks for listening, and maybe I can save at least one person from joining a multi-level pyramid scheme and losing their life savings hoping to get rich. Take care, people. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Take care, people.